Thank you for joining us tonight. You're now with me, Shamina for TVS Nightline. We begin with the headlines tonight. After 5 years of operating a money-lending syndicate behind legal businesses such as furniture and electrical shops, the syndicate identified as Ally was smashed following an operation dubbed Ops Vulture with the arrest of 14 of its members, including the syndicate leader, in 6 separate raids since July 1st.
Dalam operasi ini, 16 orang dapat ditangkap ya. Dalam serbuan yang kita buat dalam tempoh 14 hari, 2 minggu. Dan 6 premis telah kita serbu melibatkan 4 rumah kediaman personal persendirian, 1 apartmen, kemudian 1 premis kedai dan pelbagai rampasan barang-barang kes yang ada. Mereka ini sangat licik, tuan-tuan ya, sangat licik. Dia menjalankan pinjaman wang tanpa lesen dengan 500 mangsa yang setakat ini yang kita dapat kesan dengan jumlah 1.1 juta. Kemudian mereka mengaburi operasi mereka, rekod kutipan wang dengan menumpangkan kepada kedai-kedai perabot, kedai-kedai elektrik yang ada. Kita dah kesan dan kita akan siasat dan cadang untuk ambil tindakan yang sewajarnya.
Kuching Police Chief ACP Asman Baja said the syndicate had been operating since 2016 in Kuching, Semarahan, Padawan and Bau and had disbursed about 1.1 million ringgit in loans. Among the confiscated items include 13 mobile phones, ATM cards, 2 unlicensed moneylender card boxes, 14 SIM cards, 45 bunting pieces and various customer loan documents. Asman added the syndicate's modus operandi was to gain the confidence of victims by giving out business cards and issuing receipts to appear like a legal money lending entity. The public who has information regarding such activities can also continue to provide information at any nearby police station. At the same time, a few suspects were found to have past criminal records of gambling and involvement with drugs. All of the suspects were being investigated under Section 5.2 of the Moneylenders Act 1951.
Meanwhile, on another update, police officers stationed at DATUK Police Department are undergoing tests for COVID-19 after an outbreak was detected there. This has led to police officers stationed there being placed under quarantine. The matter has been confirmed by Sarawak Commissioner of Police Dato' ID Ismail, adding that the source of the infection was from suspects who were carriers of the virus. 8 policemen were found to be positive for COVID-19, while 19 have been ordered to go for self-quarantine. On the other hand, 62 farmers in Pantai Damai constituency received their agricultural input subsidies for improving productivity from the Sarawak Department of Agriculture. Evaluating the impact of agricultural input subsidies, including subsidies for agricultural machinery, seeds and fertilizers. The subsidies aimed at providing higher agricultural yields and increase income among farm households, beneficiaries, income and welfare, consumer welfare and wider economic growth during the pandemic. The assistance provided are fertilizers, pesticide sprayers, lawn mowers, wheelbarrows and storage baskets. Local farmers hope that these assistance would increase crop productions and generate more income.
Rindulah suka, bersyukurlah ada bantuan baja Pak Indah. Dari kerajaan, terima kasih kepada kerajaan. Pertanyaan kami pun ada baja tu nampak subur lah si payah beli baja. Dah ada bantuan dah. Dalam masa kini tu musim raya pun kami baja pokok durian. Macam ni apa? Hasil lah bagus lah. Bertambah nampak kat baja ya. Bersyukurlah.
Bagi kami bantuan tu sangat-sangat perlu dan penting untuk rakyat kampung-kampung lah yang ada bisik kebun lah, yang ada mempunyai kebun. Kena selamat tu kebun setidaknya mungkin kurang dibaja dan selepas tu mungkin baja yang dibekalkan dapat membuahkan hasil ataupun mengeluarkan hasil dengan lumayan lah. InsyaAllah lah mudah-mudahan macamnya.
Meanwhile, Pantai Damai Assemblyman Datuk Dr. Abdul Rahman Junaidi said this special assistance was not meant only for the farmers in this area. The assistance would be expanded to other areas to encourage more people to get involved in the agricultural sector.
Jadi dengan adanya bantuan ini saya rasa ia boleh meningkatkan produktiviti mereka yang selama ini menjadi pendapatan utama sebahagian pada keluarga petani yang ada di kawasan kita. Jadi usaha yang dilakukan oleh Jabatan Pertanian ini begitu baik sekali kerana pada hari ini memang kita nak galakkan kalau boleh semua orang, bukan sahaja petani, malahan semua orang termasuk kita yang tinggal di bandar dan di pinggir bandar untuk menjalankan aktiviti pertanian mengikut kemampuan yang ada. Jadi itu sebabnya selain daripada membantu petani tradisional yang menjalankan aktiviti pertanian secara konvensional seperti biasa, Jabatan Pertanian Sarawak juga mengadakan beberapa program aktiviti untuk membantu petani-petani bandar.
For your information, the Sarawak Agricultural Department also provides supporting programs such as counselling services and short courses on fertigation and hydroponic. Meanwhile, Rahman Junaidi, who is the Assistant Minister of Islamic Affairs and DBKU, supported the decision to make it compulsory for traders to be vaccinated before operating businesses. Although no official decision had been made, he believed that this should be one main condition for traders to renew their trading licenses.
Jadi memang di peringkat Dewan Bandar Kuching Utara kita belum mengumumkan lagi, tapi memang kita menggalakkan kepada peniaga-peniaga, usahawan serta penggiat-penggiat gerai yang ada di kawasan Bandaraya Kuching Utara untuk mendapat vaksinasi masing-masing. Kerana pada masa akan datang ia akan menjadi prasyarat utama untuk mereka mendapat permit ataupun memperbaharui permit perniagaan masing-masing.
Commenting further, his department would be offering counselling services to traders that do not want to get vaccinated.
Namun demikian, seandainya mereka masih juga tidak mahu mendapat vaksin, maka kita tidak akan meluluskan permit perniagaan mereka. Kerana ini penting bukan untuk DBKU tapi untuk keselamatan masyarakat orang ramai.
And food premises will be allowed to usher in dine-in customers to their eateries starting tomorrow. However, this will only be limited to operators and workers who had been vaccinated with at least the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccines. The State Disaster Management Committee, SDMC, announced this today after having reviewed and fine-tuned the SOP under Phase 2 of the National Recovery Plan, NRP. The committee said this decision would be subjected to additional conditions as stipulated under the SOP for Phase 2 of the NRP. They also warned all economic sectors that had been permitted to operate to strictly comply with the SOP, as the authorities would not hesitate to take action against any violator. Food operators who flout the SOP will be ordered to close immediately for 14 days if a COVID-19 positive case emerges at their premises. Operators or premise owners will also have to bear the costs for health screening and sanitizing of their premises. Only licensed bistros and those with a kitchen area food operation are allowed to operate for now. Food premises are not allowed to play any music or line up any entertainment activity during business hours. For more info on the SOPs, please visit the official website and the details can be downloaded at mlgh.sarawak.gov.my. And now on to the COVID-19 development. Sarawak today recorded a rise of new positive COVID-19 cases, with 363 cases compared to yesterday with 289 cases. Out of the cases, districts which added to the additional number of cases were from Kuching, Lundu, SIBU, Subis and Kapit. This makes the cumulative total cases as of Thursday to 70,228 cases. Out of the new cases today, 137 cases were from Kuching, Lundu 120, SIBU 21, Subis 14 and Kapit 11. Meanwhile, 4 new deaths were reported, involving a 71-year-old woman and 2 men from SIBU, 1 man from Kapit. On the other hand, 2 new clusters were declared today, namely the Salatland Cluster Kuching and Sebayo Cluster Samarahan. Salatland Cluster was detected from the workplace, while the Sebayo Samarahan Cluster from a community cluster. 2 new clusters have ended, the Semano Estate Cluster and Ulu Sangan Cluster in Tatao. However, the total number of active clusters now stands at 98.
Rocking your weekends with a wide selection of music videos. From your favorite local artists to the fiercely indies, we've got you covered. Weekend Vibes new season every Sunday at 12:30 p.m. only on TVS channel 122.
The rice is not cooked. Oh man!
Hopefully she don't burn the aromatic.
I do have one question. Is the instruction correct? Oh my god!
So I think that our crew actually enjoy seeing us getting commended lah.
Welcome back to the Nightline. And now on to our next news. According to the SIBU Divisional Disaster Management Committee, SDDMC, although the COVID-19 Delta variant has been detected in Sarawak, no case of the variant had been reported so far in SIBU. It said the news that had gone viral about the variant being present in SIBU was likely due to the case of an Indonesian who tested positive for COVID-19 on July 7 and was being treated at the SIBU hospital. Testing on the patient could not identify the variant, and a sample was sent to University Malaysia Sarawak, UNIMAS, on July 12 for further testing. This was due to the complicated process of detecting or identifying the variant, which normally takes 1 to 2 weeks. The SDDMC said contacts of the case had been screened and they were all found to be COVID-19 negative, but they were still being detained at a quarantine center. The committee called on all parties not to spread inaccurate information on the matter and to remain vigilant, as well as to comply with the existing standard operating procedures as the Delta variant had been detected in the state. And Malaysia recorded a week-long increase of daily COVID-19 doses, surpassing the 400,000 mark for 3 consecutive days since Monday. Accordingly, Sarawak also administered its highest number of daily jabs for the second doses at 52,652, followed by Selangor at 26,862 and Kuala Lumpur at 22,266.
In tandem with the increasing number of daily doses administered, the 7-day moving average climbed further to 373,028 from 364,602 previously. Of the latest doses administered, 279,938 went to first dose recipients, while 154,890 individuals were given the second dose. There were 424,541 doses administered across the country on Tuesday, and 421,479 doses on Monday. Cumulatively, a total of 12.4 million COVID-19 vaccine doses had been delivered nationwide.
And the government is mulling the possibility of relaxing some conditions for individuals who had received 2 doses of the COVID-19 vaccines, including allowing them to dine at restaurants as well as to travel interstate. This was stated by Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin after checking on the preparation for food baskets under the Bakul Prihatin Negara program at Dewan Perdana Nur, Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development.
Saya telah minta jawatankuasa pengurusan ni untuk menilai semula bagi mereka-mereka yang telah dapat vaksin 2 suntikan supaya mereka akan diberikan kelonggaran ya, sama ada dari segi perjalanan ataupun pergi ke kedai ataupun makan di restoran.
According to Muhyiddin, he had asked the Special Committee for Ensuring Access to COVID-19 Vaccine Supply, JKJAV, to look into relaxing the movement control order for those who were fully vaccinated. At present, the Prime Minister said the national COVID-19 immunization program was running smoothly. Muhyiddin also called on all quarters to put their trust in the government to handle the pandemic. And now on to the next highlight. A former research assistant to Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim had filed a suit against him for allegedly assaulting him sexually 3 years ago. Muhammad Yusuf Rother, 28, filed the suit at the High Court yesterday.
Yusuf in a statement stated that the sexual assault took place on October 2, 2018 at Anwar's residence in Segambut. He claimed that the 73-year-old Anwar sexually assaulted and molested him despite him asking the defendant to stop. Following the incident, Muhammad Yusuf claimed there was no communication between him and Anwar for about a month. He lodged a police report against Anwar on December 7, 2019 and underwent a lie detector test at the Royal Malaysia Police Headquarters in Bukit Aman on December 17th of the same year, which Muhammad Yusuf claimed that the latter refused to undertake the test.
On the other hand, the results of applications for admission to public universities, IPTA, polytechnics, community colleges and public skills training institutions at certificate, foundation, diploma levels as well as UITM architecture degree program for Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia school leavers will be announced tomorrow.
The Ministry of Higher Education MOHE in a statement said applicants could check the results online from 12 noon at the links provided. According to the ministry, applicants would be able to print the acceptance and offer letter from the IPTA and ILK websites beginning this Saturday until July 26. The ministry added that only unsuccessful applicants and those who have been offered a certificate program could submit an appeal through UPU Online for admission to public universities and polytechnics at the link provided within 11 days from tomorrow until July 26. According to MOHE, the decision on the places offered for the 2021-2022 academic session is final and any appeal for changes will not be entertained. The selection policy for appeals from unsuccessful candidates will be based on study program vacancies still available after the registration of new students has been completed.
The relevant authorities have been urged the temporary cessation of all children, persons with disabilities, PWDs, and old folks care centres that are not registered with the Social Welfare Department. This was to ensure the safety of the occupants. Senator Datuk Ras Adiba Radzi said the Care Centres Act 1993 should be amended and improved so that only care centres registered with the JKM would be allowed to operate in the country. She said the move to close down such centres was vital as most abuse cases occurred at care centres that were not registered with the JKM.
Kami Firafandi sebagai Putit.
Ya, kalau dia Putit, saya Stunter James sebagai Bueng.
Jangan lupa untuk menonton drama komedi senyap Sayang Celorot Si Kuih Cincin
pada setiap Sabtu dan Ahad pukul 12.15 tengah hari.
hanya untuk TVS saluran 122 Astro dan MyTV. Guys, confirm mantul guys.
1, 2, 2.
7月19号星期一早上9点30分，我是华校生最后一集华校生的袁湘琴 ，Astro 频道122和 MyTV 只在 TVS。
Hello everyone, I'm Iki. Guess what? Rhythm of Borneo will be back for its brand new season. So be sure to check out new episodes of Rhythm of Borneo every Saturday, 3 p.m. only on TVS channel 122 Astro as well as MyTV. See you guys there!
Gameplay itself is a basic platformer side-scroller, but our lecturer likes to call it our secret sauce with the AR tattoo.
To them, they want to reinvent those kind of storytelling and can actually reach out and tell story through those kind of platforms.
Thank you for staying with me. And now on to world affairs. 11 people died on Thursday and many were missing as flooding in western Germany caused the collapse of at least 6 houses, bringing the death toll in 2 days of severe storms to 6. Police said some 30 people were missing at the south of Bonn after the nearby river flowed into the Rhine, burst its banks and brought down the houses. Around 50 people were stranded on rooftops and more houses were at risk of collapsing. Video showed cars and trucks strewn across streets and one sport utility vehicle perched on a fence, a road blocked by wreckage and fallen trees as flood waters receded. Police helicopters and the army had been deployed to some areas to help stranded residents. Rail and road transport were disrupted, and shipping on parts of the Rhine, an important trade artery, was suspended. More heavy rain was due in southwestern Germany on the upper reaches of the German Rhine on Thursday and Friday. And hundreds of flamingos which had just hatched died at Lake Tuz or Salt in Turkey's central Anatolian region on the farmers' embankment of the water channels flowing to the lake. While Lake Tuz is the second largest lake in Turkey, it is on the migratory route of the flamingos. But this year, hundreds of baby flamingos died as the related embankment caused the water flow to stop. Though it is shallow and gets little precipitation throughout the year, its salty nature is conducive for the nesting of migratory birds. However, the drought stemming from climate change has led to a recession of lake's waters, making finding food a challenge for flamingos. Every year, 5 to 10,000 baby flamingos hatch at Lake Turs. The number was 5,000 this year. However, as the water channels flowing to the lake were embanked by villagers, the flamingos' water and feeding areas have shrunk. The situation is not confined to Lake Turs, though. Drought, along with pollution, was also blamed for recent mass deaths of seagulls in lakes in Istanbul and the eastern province of Van. Temperatures are steadily increasing in the country due to climate change, leading to significant drops in water resources. Experts warn that a water crisis awaits Turkey within the next decade. Riverbeds are also suffering due to heavy pollution and warned about dwindling water resources, as more farmers are resorting to underground water sources due to lack of rainfall. Now moving on to some sports update. Preparations are underway for Japanese Emperor Naruhito to attend the July 23rd opening ceremony of the Tokyo Olympics.
The Emperor, the honorary patron of the Tokyo Games, is seen declaring the start of the Games in the opening ceremony at the National Stadium. Meanwhile, other imperial family members, including Empress Masako, are expected to forego visits to Olympic venues. International Olympic Committee members and leaders from other countries are expected to be invited to the Imperial Palace on July 22nd and 23rd respectively, before the opening ceremony. The Olympic Charter stipulates that the start of the Olympics be declared by the head of state hosting the Games. The opening declarations for the 1964 Tokyo Olympics and the 1972 Sapporo Olympics were made by the late Emperor Showa, and for the 1998 Nagano Olympics by then Emperor Akihito, who currently carries the title of Emperor Emeritus.
We'll wrap up the Nightline with this update. As daily COVID-19 infection rates alarmingly surpass 50,000 cases, Indonesia is to extend their movement restriction orders by 6 weeks. According to the National Agency for Disaster Management's Twitter post, 54,517 cases have been recorded, bringing the total to 2,670,046 cases.
Ya, pemerintah Malaysia sebelum ini menetapkan sejak 3 Julai lepas hingga 20 Julai PPKM darurat dikuatkuasakan di Pulau Jawa dan Bali, dan semalam Menteri Kewangan Indonesia Seri Mulyani Indrawati dalam berkata PPKM darurat diperpanjangkan lagi selama 6 minggu. Antara peraturan PPKM darurat adalah penutupan pusat-pusat membeli belah, penerapan 100% bekerja dari rumah untuk sektor non-essential, penutupan rumah-rumah ibadat, pembelajaran dari rumah sepenuhnya, larangan makan di restoran, penutupan tempat-tempat atau pusat pelancongan dan rekreasi.
According to a statement by the Jakarta police, 10 main roads into Jakarta city have been closed and restrictions have been enforced to control the movement in and out of Jakarta. Only those with permit letters are allowed entries and exits.
And that concludes TVS Nightline for tonight. Now, do not flout the SOPs and always stay vigilant. Here with me, Shoshamyato, and I'll see you next time. Have a good morning.
Hey, Aziz, ask you something. Have you thought of